Hello there. Am I on? Yeah, music's on. Well, music is done. Let's get that on. There we go. Oh, a little too quiet, or am I imagining things? You see, this is what happens when you tweak your settings. Hey, Kader, how you doing, man? I think it's alright. I think I might just be overly concerned about things like this. Alright, let's, well, actually, well, wait a minute. The game's just warming up. We'll show you the compare for GA, first of all. How about that? Right, let's load it up. Alright. I'm on the wrong end of a hiding today, I think. I might be mistaken. I think I've gone 4 in my last 5, something like that. So this is probably the one where I get my arse handed to me a bit. Let me just check my history. Yeah, I won the last 2 last week, and I've won 2, so 4 out of the last 5 I've won. So yeah, this is my hiding round. I'm 14 mil, my opponent is 16.1 mil. So, yep. If we look at the Zetas, 397 to 444. Omicrons in GAC, 67 to 81. Gear 13s, they've got 316, the max amount at Gear 13. Mods, I have a slight advantage on the 25 pluses and the 20 pluses. When it comes to 15 and below, they catch up. I've got advantage on offense percent and defense percent. They have slight advantage when it comes to the lesser ones of those two. Where they really owning me though is here in the relics. They have 600, give or take, relics more than me. They've got 10 relic 10s. That is horrid to say. They have 80 more relic 9s than me. They've got 3 more relic 8s than me, which by comparison feels very kind. And relic 7s, they have got 70 more than me. So, in fact, they have only got 1 relic 5 character, and we know that every one of their characters is at least gear 13. Yeah, it kind of shows what we're up against. Team actually beat a 16 mil today. You're also 14. No Ezra or Ezra. No Ezra or. Try that for a third time. No Ahsoka or Ezra on D. Try to rely on Irritunes and FDCs. I think that might actually be what some people do. They try and play around just to see if they can make something work. I've got this guy's previous defense written down. So, like I've been doing, we're going to see if this actually pans out. But I'm expecting a twist. Just to skim what they've got. R10 Ray, R10 Slacker, R10 JML, R9's on C and Kenobi, R10 Lord Vader, R9 on Jabba, and then R10 on Leia, Ahsoka, and Pyrick and Kondo. Then it's Relic 9s for Balin, BKM, and Cat. Relic 10 Bane, Relic 9s for Malgus, Ezra, bit of a surprise that one. Jar Jar, Bray, Starkiller, Malicos, and Raver. And a Relic 10 Darth Revan. I'm not gonna lie, I would have probably done Ezra above Bane. I say that as if I could easily just choose what Relic 10s to do. But yeah, I think Ezra would have just been above me in that list. But maybe he's just going for what he likes rather than going for things that are maybe more logical. Like, I wouldn't have even done JML, even though I know his stats bump with Relic 10. Well, I'd have probably done C ahead of him, just for survivability maybe, or... I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of umming and ahhing, because I'm not even sure I'd have done the other Star 10. Unless I was mandated to, which maybe he was. Maybe someone said, alright, this is the one we want you to do next. So, I don't know. Alright, let's go here. Let's get into the game. Let's see what they've placed. Alright. Now, I did tweak my defense ever so slightly. We got Queen on defense with the Cup Crom, DTMG with the DTMG Crom, Balin, and the Great Mothers. Southwall Inquisitors with the Barris level 3, or the Inquisitor Barris level 3. Stranger, Lord Vader, Pirate King Hondo. Let's have a look at what they've done. We got Maz. Maz was expected. We got Pirate King Hondo, which was expected on this wall. We got Lord Vader, that was expected. And we've got the Jules End team, which was expected. So far, the plan. South Wall. We've got Rey. Again, this was expected. We've got the Great Mothers. They were expected. We've got Thea Malicos. Again, it was in the plan. And we've got Queen. That was in the plan. So, on paper, we've got counters. It's going to be interesting to see if the counters work. You guys can probably tell by my voice, I'm very dubious about this round. I said to my mum just before I came on, I'm probably not going to be on for long today. You know, she doesn't give two hoots about this game, but I think even then she was like, okay, that might be good. It might mean that you're able to, you know, do a few more things. Alright, so let me just plot these out then. So, for Queenie, I was thinking we could do New Batch. Just for the fact that with that level 6, maybe we can punch up a bit. I say punch up a bit, we've got to punch up quite a bit, but let me find the set rather than searching all that lot. There we go. Again, my thought process is we're bulking up, so hopefully it reduces any delta kickoff. If any of our allies are captive, we deal additional instances of damage to a target enemy. So yeah, there might be a few things in that level 6 that help us out. A little side effect, a side point, right? And I've been going on about these new datacrons for a while in terms of the way they've changed them. But if this was around for longer, like say it wasn't just you've got a month to farm it, a month where it'll hang around, and then a month before it goes away. If it wasn't a 3-month cycle, I'd be so tempted to take these new batch characters to at least Relic 6 to make benefit of this. But I don't see the point, because even if it were to help me in the raid by taking up to R7, say, I'm maxing out the raid anyway. So it's like, well, is there any point, you know? It's a shame. I kind of wish they would give me an excuse to do it. Like, alright, if we give you this for 4 months or whatever it was before, you know, you get longer out of it, but yeah, it just doesn't feel as beneficial. Very minor, but it is there. Alright, BKM, we want a healer level 6. There we go. I've upped... It won't be on this attempt because it was after lock-in, obviously, but I've just taken my Bo-Katan, OG Bo-Katan up to Relic 6. Again, hopefully that'll just help with Relic Delta. Dear Malicos. I'm after Malicos. I'm after Malgus. And we're going to use a Tankron. There we go. And then Rey. Now, I checked the history for this opponent. Now, my opponent's opponents did actually have higher relics, but they were using a Seer team to take out Rey because of the no Ezra. So I'm hoping this can still work. So if we go Dark Side, we go High Armor Pen. Go back to this. We've got the Jules End team. We're going to go for JMK again. And I'm kind of tempted to throw that on. Yeah, I think I might throw a Tankron on because I haven't got plans for clones or for 501st, so practically that's an option. Lord Vader. I was going to do C-Bane, which it doesn't feel nice because you've got Relic 10, 4 Relic 9s, and mine are both Relic 8, but even though that sounds bad, I look and I think, well, it sounds bad, but it's not as bad. I mean, I can't remember what the 2 relic delta is off the top of my head, but it's negligible if I recall. So hopefully we've still got enough between us to survive whatever bombardment's coming our way. By the way, they've got a TB Omicron. That is crazy. You know, Apo doesn't need to have a TB Cron unless he's using Tarkin lead, which... Okay. So, even then, I'm not even sure if it helps the Tarkin lead. So, yeah, that just feels like someone's got Omicrons they don't know what to do with. Please, give me some. Parrot King Hondo. We said Slacker. I don't know how that will cope, because again, we've got a Relic 5 in there. Hopefully we can cope. We go with a Support Cron. Oh, not Support Cron for Slacker, do you? Sorry, that was completely me mixing up the teams. I was thinking I was using Hondo on offense then for a minute. There we go, Dark Side Attacker. And then finally Maz. We'll use JML. And I want high protection, so... Forlom... Yeah, go on, we'll go with this one instead. It's got less protection, but it's got the 25% turn meter. So, hopefully it's enough. For clarity, what we're expecting at the back, we're expecting a Galactic team, which is why we want to save Leia. We're expecting Gungans, we can use Treya on that. And we're expecting Finn, so I've put down Afra, but maybe we try something else. We could maybe, well, if you weren't R3, I'd be tempted to try Old Republic, because I do love that counter, but I somehow suspect their Finn team's a bit more juiced than I'm used to facing. So, in the meantime, let's get cracking. I feel like we've got to try this new batch one first, because if this goes wrong, our counters could go out the window a bit. Now, I would have thought priority would be to go for POW, get him out as quick as you can, and then work from there. It's not a great support level 6, and it's only bulk, it's not... Well, I say it's only bulk, it's not like it's turn meter, which would make them all go quick. So, hopefully we can survive opening salvo and work from there. Yeah, let's go. Alright, Batcher, hang in that. Not Batcher, sorry, Wrecker. I'm sure I know the names. Alright, Mark, please. Alright, no Mark, I'm obviously forgetting what characters can do. Go on, we'll hit POW. Yuck. Yeah, not a fan of that. Ooh, okay. Let's dispel any debuffs. Yeah, please, we need power and control pronto. Lovely, alright. I cannot ignore taunt, which I would really, really like. So instead, we'll just do that. I can cope with that. I mean, at least we haven't got Power doing his AoEs and all that lot, but I don't particularly like where we are right now. This feels messy. Okay, the summon's back again, not what I want. Feels like Shaq's got loose and she's doing things. Let's just throw that again. Can we get Queenie marked? That's it. We can at least call Crosshair to assist here. Lovely. Alright. Let's try and get the Handmaiden down. Lovely. Hello, Smogan. How you doing? You know what? Let's mark... Actually, okay, we can't mark, so we'll just bleed Qui-Gon. I haven't said to Ready Crosshair, you are doing fantastic. Let's do that to herself. I don't think we recover banners at this point, but it's still nice to get a 64, well, 74. Alright, decent start that. New batch, well done, well done. Doing okay, you took Ray to R10 yesterday, very nice. We've got an R10 right here. I was saying to myself the other day, I'm really tempted to take Darth Revan to R10 for be my first one, just to smooth out my fleet climb a little bit, but I worry if I do that, then more people in my fleet shard will do it and it becomes a little bit of an arms race. I think currently we've got one, so I'm like, I don't really want to escalate it. You found a SEA team today? It was interesting. SEA is interesting. Essentially, you build her to go slow, and then she gains per meter. So she is kind of cool. The Malicos are the bare minimum. You can have Calcastus on there. Fulcrum, Crew, Ninth, Starkiller, Maul. Pretty much anyone who's an Ufu can go on the team, but Seer and Malicos are the bare minimum, I'd say. Trevor Boy with a raid.
We have a supporter here. We have a supporter. Thank you for supporting JJ's Productions. Thank you.
I'm gonna say thank you for the raid, Trevor Boy. Hope you're doing alright, man. Ooh dear, that was not good. Let's get some doubt on the board. That was wrong, but we'll follow through. Ugh. Stun? No. Duck then. Oh wow, okay. Okay, I'm okay with that. Yeah, for the record, it wasn't so much for, like, on, with the mirror. I can actually win the mirror fine. It's more just the fact that I've got, like I said, we've got this one guy in the fleet shard who's got the R10. And going second, it's just one of them things where I'm like, okay, I've got to watch what I'm doing a little bit. If you got the R10, it's like, okay, I could probably full auto. Well, you know, whichever way you coin flip. Quite literally, first world problems. Urea has 220k health and 12,000 offense. That's a very nice set of stats, I'd say. Ooh, okay. I do getting Fulcrum down, but I'm also just wary of everyone's health and whatnot. Oof. Okay. Yeah, let's target Serum then. Yeah, they really want Fulcrum to be DI. Yeah, I'm not surprised at that. This is a banner mess. Oop. I don't know why I panic at that, because I know that it can't one-shot them, but I think the thought of it is scary. And that... Oh. Alright, I made back-to-back boo-boos there. I think we've still got time, but it's just very messy. The foresight was what got me the second time. First one was I thought I could... I didn't see the foresight. Okay, that's okay. I really do again that on Fulcrum. Oh, come on, I don't need a dodge on top of all this. Alright, let's just drain. Oh, come on. Malik isn't hitting. Oh, come on, I missed that. Yeah, this is going to be a drop at this rate. I just haven't got the time I need. Oh, again, bleeding foresight. Yeah. Irritating. Alright. We got Seer, we got Malikos, we got Ninth. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were getting one-shotted pretty quickly. I mean, my Revan's R9 and it got thrown around like a ragdoll, so it kind of shows where it is. Mildly curious. Okay. Yeah, I think that's essentially what happened. He was just too squishy as far as the bit that mattered. Something tells me I should be a bit more respectful of crew. Like, I think in my mind I was expecting the Wookiees to have more raw damage. You know what, I'll full auto it just for the fact that... I might as well just see if on full auto they can do it, but... I definitely feel like I've walked into a trap of my own making here. Purely because I didn't think about what Wookiee kits could do. What's the pack, Ada? Yeah, it's one of those Lightspeed bundles. I mean, I'll be frank, if it were... I got money on the hip, I'd be tempted to go for it myself. Just for the fact that there's one or two in there that are very decent. Like, the requirement's something like R5 or R3, so yeah. You can sometimes get a benefit in that regard. I'd have thought so. I mean, I'll say this, I'm hoping so, just for the fact that I'm actually taking something like that on myself from the start. Lady Geek. By the way, GG's Wookiees. $42 was that? I think so. Yeah, it might be something I need to start remodding for, making sure I've got a bit more protection on my DR team. I mean, I did put a protection DC on as well, but obviously it didn't have an impact. Just catching up. Ada, the R7 Yoda and Chewie would be good for Night Luke. It would. I mean, if anything, if I just look at my own. Here we are. I have got an R6 Hoda, so it's only one rally bump. Old Ben is R5 for me, so that's 2. Mon Mothma's 5, so that's 2. Princess Leia would be a full rally bump. Wedge would be a full rally bump, and Lando would be a 2 rally bump. So at that point, it becomes a question of, do you get a benefit out of the rally bumps for the price? I arguably don't, but there would be people who'd say, yeah. So, and that's just relics. You know, if you need gear and all sorts as well, then depending on your level, that can be worth it. What have I missed? Ada, you say you've been building up a new experiment. You took Stormtrooper Luke to R2, Stormtrooper Han to R3. Fully rebuilt Leia and Han from scratch. The math checks out what I'm trying to do. I mean, fair enough. I know the Stormtrooper Luke team could be fun at the very least, so it's worth having a play around with it. Oh, I've just realised I never switched my camera. There we go. Just realised it was in the middle of the screen. Truth, hello there. Popped in some months ago and haven't been able to catch you for now. Howdy. How you doing again, Peach? Yeah, 1 drop so far, so mixed start, shall we say. Smaugern, R9DR only has about 40k protection before mods kick in. Oh, that ain't great, is it? We just go to the arena, man. Here we go, this is the Cron I used. Yeah, he got 46k from the DC. That's not too bad. Plus, he had actually got defense sets, which I did not realise. Yikes. Wow, I've never seen that before. I didn't know you could click a guild name now. Alright, that's pretty cool. I don't know how long that's been a thing. Can I do it with opponents? Hey, that is cool. don't know when they implemented that. I'm sure if that's been there the entire time, I'm an idiot. But I swear that hasn't always been around. Yeah, the defense set I've got no excuses for. That's obviously me doing a quick remod and not looking at what they've got. I checked the speed. I didn't check the sets. Oh, what are you working on there then, Peach? Preach. If you worked on Slacker Dan, what you're working on now? It's not a great excuse for working on it now, Ada, but Satil Sean's going to be in the game in the next fortnight, so Revan wants Satil. Well, Satil wants Revan, more like. Unless you're talking about Darth Revan, then yeah. Satil wants Jedi Knight Revan. Here we go. This is the one. Alright, Great Mothers with using BKM. Fair dues. The Revans have got their uses still, let's say that. Yeah, I think that is pretty much the problem, Mol. It does feel like Revan and Bastille in that lineup just get bombarded when possible. I mean, I actually think it's kind of laughable that I had got defense sets on by accident and I still got walloped. But Datacrons are playing a part there as well, so I can't complain. That's just how it is. Oh, I think Jolie might have been one of my first, if not the first Rallic I got. Can't say I've got any regrets on that though. He did me very well. Oof. Okay, let's protect you as best we can. I'd like the poop stance, but it's not the priority. Cleanse that. Oi. Right, try again. You know what? We'll do that this time. Morgan down, cool. Yeah, you can try your best there, Marin. She ain't coming back. I will poop stance. I know it's still a little bit risky, but I'm just thinking maybe we can make it work. Lovely. It's 11 stacks, not... Oh, that'll do. I mean, Spirit's still going to be doing things like that, but we can at least hang back with the rest. Ooh. You're a bit unlucky there. I thought I would have got Spirit. There we go. 62. Not perfect banners, obviously, but again, we got through it. Ooh, I've got a bit catch up on here. Lady Geek, so you took Sortie to R9 for Platoon, so I'm going to try her instead of R1 Juhani for a bit. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about Satil there. I know she does have full Jedi things, which might go against that, but I also understand the idea of wanting to make an R9 sortie have some value. It's strange because that sortie team, when it first came out, it was kind of the hotness, wasn't it? You know, like I remember people were doing sortie lineups everywhere, and it just dropped off so hard when people found out Wampa could beat it. And like, all it would take is a droid that could come out that would prevent days or something, or stuns. That would be really consistent. But yeah, okay, granted, then there's probably still be other teams that could beat it, but you know what I mean, it'd stop a solo. So, yeah, it'd be nice if Sortie could have another moment in the sun, but I don't know when that'll be. You had a large majority of C requirements, so right that with the JMK unlocking between via one of the LSBs, you already had a lot of the set requirements in Jedi 2. C, honestly, oh, hang on. Right, so you're going for a JMK unlock in between going for C, if I've read that right. If so, that does make a bit of... Well, it makes sense if that's what's right for you. I mean, C for me is kind of like the lost GL in a lot of ways. Between him and JML, it feels like neither of them really have a good home, like a purpose. I mean, like I'm using JML today against Maz because it's consistent, or relatively consistent, but I don't feel like it has a lot of bigger counters than that. Similarly, C we're going to try with Bane on Lord Vader, but you take away Bane and C's viability plummets. So yeah, JMK at the 2 is definitely the one to go for there, even though JMK's kind of fallen off a bit lately, at least without DCs. Maugan, your first relic was Yoda, I think. It's been a few years now. That's what I was debating. I couldn't remember if it was Yoda or Jolie I did to R7 first. I know I did one of them because it was... I'm pretty sure my free-to-play got there before my main. On my main, it was either Han or CLS I did first. But on my free-to-play, it was either Jolie or Yoda. And I'm sure both of them are too. Yeah, I think I left CLS at R5 for a while on my main, but I took Han to R7. Yeah, to try and go back in time, it's very difficult. Heads up, kids, there's a free tank relic this month. Is that in the episode pass? If so, that's cool. Let me have a quick look. Relic tier 3. I mean, out of that lot, I think Shore Trooper's probably mine. Maybe Stormtrooper or K2 could nudge ahead, but is it weird to feel bad that I don't use it on one of the Gear 12s, considering they need gear? But I don't really see viability for these three, at least where I am right now. I'd love to do the Ewoks for a giggle. You only have 4 tanks that are left for the LSTs, Night Guardian, Boyoy. Clone Wars Chewie, Gar Saxon, and Stormtrooper Arm. Gar Saxon's probably worth doing, to be fair. Oh, you currently have JMK. Sorry, I'm catching up here. Sorry about that. You got the Bane Lightspeed bundle. That's good as well. I mean, Bane's just 3 wins at times. I totally agree, Kader. I mean, CLS is the stellar example. If not a brand new tune, I feel like it needs an Omicron. Not even a Datacron, it needs an Omicron just to lift it up again. CLS is probably the one I'm really hopeful for. Maybe after that gas, just to give it some usability in a certain game mode. I feel like this, I prefer GAC any day of the week. But say you gave me a TW Army for gas that was really beneficial, I'd be open to it, you know. Especially if my guild said, right, this is really good, go get it. By the way, I'm not even saying gas is bad. You know, he's a level above CLS right now, but it feels like he's fallen off compared to where he was years ago. Rebel Bundle also includes the Y-Wing, not bad if you have a youngish account. That is completely true. I mean, I know the Y-Wing is on Galactic War store now, but, you know, it saves farming it. That is handy to know. If C-Watt's got like a little bit of viability against Satil, it gives C something to do, doesn't it? From what I heard, though, Satil's going to be a very good offensive unit, so that's worth keeping in mind, I guess. You're only 2 on your free-to-play, Yoda and Jolie to R5. They were very good early on, those two. Yeah, that's solid. I know there's been these free-to-play farming guides using the anniversary tokens that everyone's getting, and I think that is pretty much what they said to do, so nice one. See, Max, you do what I wish I could do. I applaud you for it. Alright, let's get in here with this. We've got Seat, we've got Malicos, we've got Maul, Fulcrum, Peru, and Dooku for this ridiculously high armor pen. We should be alright because the Barris level 9 will give us heal immunity, which will give us damage immunity. Let's just do that there. Rock time. And choices aren't as fun here, I must admit. Let's pump Dorty a minute. There we go. That's fine. Okay, Sorty can't be brought back, sorry. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, DI on crew is very nice. Ben's dead. Basics. We'll do a basic there. Okay, we're still standing. Oof, okay. Let's just kill. If there's a way to recover banners here, that would be very nice, but I don't think there is. $57. I mean, it's a win, we'll take it. Alright, we'll save that. Is the back wall what we were expecting? Galactic Gungan's Finn. Exactly as we saw. So, Black we can do Leia, Gungans we can do Treya, and Finn will have a go with Afra. I don't know how silly an idea that is, but we'll try it. I'm hoping cooldown increases out there. Who's more important to Rallick? Senile Yoda? Or 3PO and Chewie? Sorry, it just reminded me of a meme I saw last week where it was essentially the scene from Empire Strikes Back where R2 was trying to steal something from Yoda and Yoda's bashing him on the head with his cane. And the meme says, when you realise that these two are war veterans. You know, it does kind of hit differently when you think about it like that. Let me reread that question. So who's more important? I would say 3PO and Chewie, at least to R7 for the requirements, but Hoda probably has the longer term viability. What Datacron's on the Gungans? I will show you. Here we go. Well, I suppose the question is, are you using Jedi more or are you using Rebels more? I mean, you've just told me you're not using your Jedi that much, like Jolie, for instance, so maybe you would be better doing Choda, not Choda. 3-pack. Couldn't think what people call him. Choda's the new one, isn't it? So, Gungans. Support level 6 with turn meter to begin with. I'll leave it on screen, actually. Alright, I'll just take up my own screen, man. Pop in Leia. Pop in Treya. Pop in Afra. Where is my focus data, Cron? There it is. I'll keep that in mind, Mol. I mean, I saw Calvin's, or I saw a bit of Calvin's stream the other night, and I saw him use his R9 Gungans to take out I think it was an R9 Lord Vader team. So yeah, it was on my mind that they are capable of bringing a surprise. Hopefully not that good of one though. Hopefully. I've got that Resistance Cron. I call it Resistance Cron. There we go, that one. That hasn't been working for me though, so maybe that? Yeah, we'll go with that one. Alright. Let's get back to business. Just one last thing, is that a Huyang Cron? Yeah, okay. Interesting choice. So, this is the one that worries me. We've already dropped once. Can't really afford to drop again. I mean, honestly, I don't feel I could afford to drop once. So, we're going to go in with this. And we're going to hope that the 2 Relic Delta to 1 Relic Delta isn't detrimental. They have got an Attacker Cron. Not the best level 3 for Lord Vader. So hopefully that helps us. I'll link Lord Vader because we can't actually insta-kill. We'll link DCT because I feel like DCT does put out decent damage. Okay, send in Bane. We'll do that. We'll do that again. Hey up, Snappy, how you doing? We're just trying not to die right now. It's a humble aim for a Monday afternoon, I say. Drain, please. I know. Oh, okay. That wasn't an insta-kill, but still, I will take it. Just nice to see putting out some damage, if I'm being honest. We'll do that and that. You unlock the Darude Sandstone variant. They look like empty cards, like some characters should be there, but nope. I know what you mean. I got that variant and I was like, it's kind of cool, the animation, but I think someone said it recently, it might have been Regis, that when they've not got... It was like Web Sling. Web Sling's kind of a name for a card, isn't it? You know, it's like, the ability's cool, but the actual name is very dull. And I think that's why a Sandstorm suffers. It's like, the card itself is actually pretty fun, I think, but it's just a bit bleh as actual abilities go, or a name goes. I've seen a lot of Mole Man in the last couple of days because of it. But to be honest, this is what I love about the games still. The fact that when a card is very meh, they can actually make it relevant if they build stuff around it. I mean, think about reverse engineering SWGOH. You know, you've got Garsax and ISC, they both suck. Let's bring in Maul and make them Darkside Mandalorians that attack out a turn with him. You know, all that kind of stuff. Krennic sucks. Right, let's build an ISB faction for him. You know, it's good game design. I know you could argue it's bad that they come in cold, but sometimes it's not the worst thing. Okay. Full auto, I will make sure that we get the best chance to win this. 67. Goody goody. I think White Queen could be due to pool 1. They don't want to make cards that early oppressive. Which, you say it like that and it sounds reasonable, and then you think about the fact that Iron Man's one of the first cards you get in the game, and that's still a top tier card. I mean, anyone who's wondering what we're talking about, Marvel Snap, that is actually a very good entry point in the terms of first game you play, you get Iron Man. You know, and it's like, yeah, he's still probably one of the best cards in the game. I think someone actually said it not long ago. If that was a brand new card that they brought out, you know, double dislocation's ability, no one would complain. It's good. But because it's, you know, one of the first cards you get, people kind of look down on it a little. Right, let's give this a go. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to do that, actually. I'm going to do this. I won't get Papa Palps down. Yeah, Vader gets a bit angry. That's his prerogative. He can be a bit of a grump at times. Let's do that. Quite a lot of evasion here. Yeah, honestly, I kind of just wanted him gone. He was being annoying. Right, so Papa Palps is gone. Even if they somehow beat me, there's no choo-choo train. Quite literally has left the station. Let's call in Cat. Go on, give that Kenobi. 65. Okay, first order. Teensy weensy bit concerned about this because of my Foss, but hopefully we'll be alright. I was just mulling it over, and I think I made the right call because I think having the tank is just the right way. Oh wow, that can turn ult. Jeez. Like I know what Hondo's all about, but man, that still takes you by surprise. Let's do that. Okay. Oof. Okay, I don't like Smee doing that. I don't like him taking out how many turns they're taking. Can we get a counter? Thank you. Right, in fact we've ulted. That should help. Oh, we got 2 out. Cool. Alright, alright. I'm fed of these picking ults. That's it, have that. Go suck an ult. Alright, can I shut you up, Vayne? There we go, have a poke. Alright, pop a taunt. And an ult. See, I can do back-to-back ults as well. Right, we've got advantage. Which he steals. Well, if I'm right, Supportron stole it. 61, alright. Got a bit messy when Hooks died, so I can live with that. Right, Jedi. Alright, this is the one we want. 66% protection, 115% armor pen, kind of moot that. Turn meter, let's go. Also, we pre-taunt, so Hondo's first move, bit of a waste. Right. Let's do that there. Done who we can. Let's get that over there. Pass that to Cal. Give that to Hoda. For what it's worth, I know that Master Luke puts out the most damage on the coin, but I think there's a bit of me that I just like to pass it around for the ult. Yeah, I was going to say, there's going to be a revive. But I figure I might as well try and trigger it. turn sometime soon? That would be very nice, thank you. Okay. That was not nice. That was very, very not nice. Please let me take a turn. Alright, Hoda's looking very unhealthy. I would like a turn. Can you please stop taking turns? Haley, friggin' Luger, take a turn. Get Hoda's down. Alright, you have got to go. Oh, of course. Alright, me unfold that. Still knew we can. Just die, please. I don't care how, just die. Kicks with the revive. Yep. By the way, very annoying that I just had my cooldown increased like that. Ironically, this is one of his better matchups. You wouldn't believe it. Yeah, I'm molding here. I might as well preload and get rid of the lead. That does blow, though. Yeah, JML's aged. That's the only way I can phrase it for him. He's not bad, but he's not good. What shall we use on it? Gungans, maybe? Hey up, Antslug. My GP, it's 14 mil. I'm up against a 16.2, I think we saw earlier. Let me have a quick chat while we've got a minute. Oh. Alright, clicking on a meme. 16.1. So, yeah, 2.1 mil difference. Actually, let's just bring it back on screen. Just refresh memories. Here we go. For me, this was the striking bit. 10 R10s to my nil, which is partly been by choice there. I still want to have 10, but I have a couple more. But then, yeah, 31 to 111 R9s, 23 to 26 R8s, 98 to 168 R7s. So I'm punching up a little bit as far as Delta goes. It's interesting, isn't it, Ant? It's very interesting as far as you feel like you're in a punch-up. Please tell me you could get me the Shirley Bassey chorus line playing for that. For the record, my nan absolutely loves Shirley Bassey. That's why my memory goes straight to it. Which one's got the protections? This one, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I feel like my mods are probably one of my stronger points, but you can always improve, can't you? And just say that kind of blows that Hondo. Oh, Hondo isn't down. What am I talking about? He's still there. Don't know what I thought was the one I took out. Alright. Get in there, Jar Jar. Well, at least we get rid of all the blind, and Jar Jar calls another assist, I think, there. Alright, 1 minute, but we got to clean up 44. Where's Micron? There it is. So we've had 2 drops this round. One on the Maz team and one down here on the Seer team. So, a bit disappointing. You know, I don't like dropping, but c'est la vie. You face 2 Jar Jars. First one I couldn't dent, second one timed out on Malgus. Essentially with Jar Jar, you just have to think, right, can I keep Jar Jar quiet somehow? Or, well, I say Jar Jar quiet somehow, like, can you... You know what, that is complete BS on my part. It isn't even about Jar Jar, it's Phalanx. Phalanx is the one you want to keep quiet, so... Treya, for instance, can you isolate Phalanx with Treya? Another one might be, say, using Malgus. Can you get a shock on Phalanx so that you can just focus on the shield? That's the aim of the game there. Just take the shield down and the Gungans are easy to delete. Speaking of which, let's see if I can follow my own advice. This would be very bad if I can't. Okay. And say the seething hatred for Jar Jar is amusing. Let's go here for now. Oop. Alright, I can't insta-kill. So let's just suck for now. I'm waiting for Treya to take a turn. Needless to say, but if Treya didn't take a turn, I would be stuffed. Right, let's isolate that. Defense down is not the worst thing. Malgus Maul? You can't annihilate Jar Jar while the shield's up. It's why I say it's like a mini-game. Get the shield down and then they're open season. And the only thing stopping you from getting to the shield is Phalanx. Right, I'm a little worried about Scion, only because Scion's not well modded or... Well, Scion's actually Scion right now. I think that's good enough as reasons go. Now we can go for Jar Jar. Now we can't go for Jar Jar. You ever think sometimes the game hears you? Get some hatred. Feed off Ada's dislike for Jar Jar. For the record, this isn't the optimal kill order. I feel the need to emphasize that, but... Well, the way we're doing it, Jar Jar's playing hide and go seek, so we're just going to wait for him to pop his head out. And preferably have a... Ooh, don't like that one bit. Okay. More worried about a death mark on Nihilus, then that's not nice. Good. Okay, Jar Jar deleted. Can we recover banners? Surely not. 63, I'll take that. Alright. Is this Mando Maul or is this Darth Maul? Just out of curiosity, because it is where it's tricky if you've got a non-full Sith Empire team. Yeah, Mando Maul and Malgus don't really go together. They're not exactly peas in a pod. I mean, if you're hodgepodging it just because you need to put two things together. Oh, right, I get you. You did a 1-2. Okay. My bad, I didn't get that. Alright, let's see if this works. I've got no idea if it does, but I kind of like the idea of finding out. Bring a droid in. Let's mark Zori. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, never in doubt. One of the happiest 65s I've scored in a while. Alright. I feel like every time I get a win with BT1 in the team, it justifies that R8 I did long ago for just luxury. I think that's kind of where it all comes down to. When you do a rally cake that's good, but you know it might not be the most popular one. It just feels really nice when it comes back and it's like, you know what? I'm glad I did it. Right, which one of these did I pick? Turn me to right. Let's go for it. Okay, take that off Drogon. We'll pass that to Drogon. And please, Drogon. Good night. Thank you. It always feels nicer once the Ezra's out of the way. Alright, Sabine down. Pop that on Jin. It's why I'm surprised this guy didn't have an R10 Ezra, to be honest. I mean, I'm not saying that Ezra would have survived it, but he'd have had a damn sight better chance of surviving it at R10. I mean, my Drogon's only R8, and I want him R9 just to try and reduce that damage reduction. Delete? Kind of. Rolling that over in my head, thinking, all right, what's the best play here? And I'm thinking, we're not probably in a position where I can get great hits on Ahsoka, so let's wait until R2's stealth. think it's coming up. Oh, next turn. Right. Getting closer. Alright, let's do that. Put that over on Jin. Now we do that. Ball spot. Hopefully you can see what I was trying to do there. Go on, we'll do that just for now. Ooh. Okay, so we're probably going to lose banners on Jim, but everyone else will be ready, I think, when the time comes. $63. Again, it's a one shot. I'm taking it. Alright. Ada, it would be good on the Stormtrooper Luke team. You've chucked Ezra and Zebin because you want them, you have them well modded. What they said was the optimal team, which I don't necessarily believe, but it's what CG said, is Stormtrooper Luke, Princess Leia, Stormtrooper Han, R2, and Old Ben. Now, I do believe there's some synergies in there, so for sure, it's a good team. You could probably play around with it, though. I mean, you've just said Ezra and Zeb. Why not? I mean, I can't remember if there is anything they would do that would synergize well with it, but I don't know. Maybe worth having to play around. Actually, just thinking about it, I think there might be a line about if an enemy removes a rebel ally removes turn meter. And would Stagger count for that with Zeb? Probably not. But if so, that could be a synergy. Yeah, it does benefit. It's not like the biggest, but it's still something. Okay, Holdo, Radis. Well, we got Radis. We got Profundity and we got Home One, which were the three fleets we were expecting. So let's go here. Let's go Home One. Oh, hang on, not that one. 1, 2, 3, and hopefully that's it. Right, reinforce, B-wing. Let's get this party started. Okay, let's just keep going. Tank down. Nice. Oh, nearly. Bingo. All right. 75. Next up, we're going to do a Prof Mirror. Now, their relics tell me they will take the first turn. We're going to bring the bomber in. I am curious how this plays, though. I've won Prof Mirrors with a speed disadvantage before, but yeah, been a while. Stormtrooper Luke Leia and Stormtrooper Han are supposedly meant to be very good in 3v3, especially with the Stormtrooper Luke army. Okay. Let's do that. I mean, I'll be frank, I haven't did that one myself, but it wouldn't surprise me. The fact that I chose a reinforcement first, I'm thinking, let's see if we can just deal some damage. Yeah, there's their Rogue One. Oh, okay. Okay, their Outriders out. Okay, not the biggest surprise there. Let's bring in TIE Bomber. Yeah, that does jack. Flyby to 78%. Alright, an alarm's going off. Bear with me. Let's do that. Pull the assist. Nice and easy. Let's just lock that down a bit more. I feel like I played that well in terms of I waited for the right time with the reinforcement of TIE Bomber. I was debating first or second, but I feel like allowing more ships to come in and then burning them made more sense. So I'm happy how that played. 71, yeah. I haven't actually seen footage of that, to be honest, with Stormtrooper Luke, but hey, if it's doing it. Slightly annoying thing about this defense, they've, yeah, popped me a levy on defense. They got their levy on offense, so I thought I want you to, at the very least, have to use it on my levy. They might not. They might cheese it somehow, but I thought I'll try and force their hand a bit. Right, last time I played this battle, I made the rookie error putting TIE Advanced in the reinforcements, so I was wondering why things went pig-eared. So I'm thinking maybe we try that. Yeah, I have been having all meta, or at least, if not all meta, I've at least had Levy and Prof on offense. I've had Exec on defense for a little bit. But yeah, last couple of rounds I've been switching it up just depending on what my opponent usually sets. Like last round I went all meta defense, which I didn't like doing, but I knew my opponent wouldn't be able to beat it, so it pretty much clinched that win. Yeah. 0-1's quite a funny one to face on defense when you haven't got Levy, though, or Prof. They're very solid. Again, I might be misremembering kits, but I feel like you need Emperor Shuttle here because you need a way of just coping with the opening salvo. No, apparently I was completely wrong with the ships. Okay. Yeah. Home One's definitely been brilliant since it came back into the meta. I mean, I just used it now on offense. And to be honest, that's why I put Executor on defense. I kind of like it having that home. Over and over Negotiator, and I'm sure that's a bad idea. I've just used Home 1 to beat Radis, so I know that's a bad idea. These all feel like bad ideas, in short. If I just click on Negotiator for a second, let me just look at the ships and just see if there's something that springs out. Yeah. That might have to be the way. Let's go with First Order. Let's just see if, as you say, we can burn cooldowns, but let's see if we can at least do something in the short term. I wonder if that would have an interaction. Probably won't, but I'm curious. Yeah, apparently not. Without remembering it, I'm going to have a stab in the dark that it gains a bonus turn. Okay, that's very nice. Per meter? We have got advantage. It's the trouble with it not starting. It can just go again. Okay, that's unfortunate for Poe. Oh, that was actually picking decent. Alright, that actually surprised me. Considering we haven't bought comeuppance in at that point. Alright, Ray. Earned your brownies there. 36. Okay. 1758, that's a fair few drop banners, but we did full clear. Yeah, I mean, might as well show because it's kind of obvious, but yeah, that's my defense. So, in reality, I did set myself up for a fail there in terms of not bringing Malevolence on offense. I mean, I think the problem I had is I didn't know what I wanted to use on offense. I knew I wanted to do a Prof Mirror, and I knew I was probably going to use Home 1 on Radis. So that last battle was the one where I was just umming and ahhing, like, well, what do you want to do? And I think because I'd won with Executrix before, that was in my head. But before, I'd had TIE Bomber reinforcing. This time I didn't... granted, TIE Bomber wasn't available, which also messed up, but you know, I didn't even get to reinforce. So, just a whole load of mess. Do you mean if my levy has 3 ships? Like 3 reinforcements? Just kind of curious what you meant. Oh, right, so no reinforcements. Right. Apologies. Well, that's something with Prof. Because they would just be guaranteed to go through the abilities rather than reinforce, wouldn't they? I'll keep that in mind. I mean, again, last round I had 3 on all 3 meta on defense, so I only made 1 change this round. I put Mal on defense again, but I knew this guy used Executor and Leviathan on offense, so I thought, right, I'll put my own down for defense. That way, they're either mirroring or they're going to do meta for meta and get bad banners. So that was my theory, anyway. Actually, I'll correct myself. I said bad banners. They probably got good banners comparatively with Leviathan because they would have gone first. Executor, yeah, they would have gone first there as well, but I'm not sure how much of that will matter. So yeah, it's just really if Mel could nick something there, I guess. I mean, thinking about what they've got on offense. Actually, let me bring this over. Go here as well. Alright, so we're just looking at what they've got. JML, Blacker, you wouldn't see him on defense. Leia as well, very unlikely. Jabba is the one that surprised me a bit. I thought, you're kind of used to seeing Jabba at this point, so when I saw it wasn't in the plan, you know, a little bit different. JMK, see, you don't expect them on defense nowadays. Yeah, just skimming through this. Stranger on offense as well. That one's awkward. I think it'd be safe to say my concern is they will have enough to clear me. Comfortably, I should say. Just amend that. Whereas I struggled with Maz and Seer and the ship, I feel like they've got enough on offense to deal with my defensive problems. Right, Jabba's winning versus Vayne Datacron. That's good early info. Granted, is that using one of the current sets or one that's not going to expire? Okay, that's good to know. I mean, I feel like Jabba anyway is probably going to become less meta viable now that the support cron's going, but I don't think he dies either. I think you'll probably see that split where sometimes he's down, sometimes he's not. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. But yeah, I'm curious what happens. I mean, I feel like the Vayne Datacron is the one normal Datacron I'm going to try and get this coming season. Try and think what the other one is. The Balin FDC. They're the two in my mind that I'm thinking I need to push. I know after that there's a few nice normal DCs, but nothing crazy. Wampa obviously is a good FDC. But yeah, I'm going to try and get as many materials as I can, but it's like... Yeah, if anything, if that's a reason to bring Balin on offense, I'm taking it. Excuse me, hang on. Couldn't sneeze. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. That's a very weird note to leave it on. Alright, let's launch a raid. I don't know, man. Okay, who's online? I can see RSG, and I can see Bones. I'm going to go to Bones for the simple fact I think Bones raided me the other day, so I'd like to return the favour. So, I'm going to be back now on Thursday. That's, let me get this right. Thursday, Saturday, Monday is this coming week's pattern. So, yeah. Normally it'd be Friday, but I've got a football match to be watching on Friday. So Saturday's when we're going to do the normal stream. And when we do that stream, it's going to be The Last of Us Part 2 again. We're going to do Grounded. I've been enjoying the challenge of it, so I want to try and push on with that. Even though I feel insane for doing it. But yeah, Nicholas, thanks for the chat. Thanks for everyone like Ada, anyone else who's been in the chat lurking. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'll be seeing you hopefully Thursday. If not, I'll see you for the following Thursday when SWGOH's back. So, bye-bye for now, folks. Let's get this raid launched.